Okay, Natalia, I'm sorry I lost our YouTube connection there. I had to reconnect, but we are back in session. We are live streaming on YouTube. Our next attorney is Mr. Todd. Got the balance of the docket.
Lewis, Attorney Jackson Todd.
Mr. Todd, Rob Crown here. How are you today?
I'm doing well.
So we've got traffic docket this morning. What I would like to do, Mr. Todd, as we did last time, I thought it worked pretty well, is I'll call the case and just immediately give you the offer that I've got here. I'm not trying to prevent you from making any arguments that you might have or make any motions you feel are appropriate. So if you need to interrupt me, please do. Make your motions, make your arguments. But until I hear that, I'll just call the case and make you the offer, okay?
That sounds good. Before you proceed, Your Honor, I want to let you know, right now I have you on speakerphone.
Okay.
They're doing some roof construction in my office, so if it gets noisy, I'm going to put the receiver to my ear. But if you need me to repeat anything, I'll be happy to.
Okay, well, thank you for the notice. So far, it sounds fine. Okay, Madam Clerk, you ready?
I'm ready, Your Honor.
All right, first case is Carlos Aguirre Nunez. And the offer for Mr. Todd is a withhold, 200 plus costs, and a 4-hour course.
We'll accept that.
All right, and that's 20 TR 275.60. The next case is Fernando Alfonso, 20 TR 29220. This does include an adjudication. I can read you the rest of the offer, but my guess is you'll request a hearing.
We'll request a hearing, Your Honor.
All right. Madam Clerk, the hearing date, is this also March 10th?
Yes, Your Honor, March 10th at 1:30.
Mr. Todd, does that work for you?
Yes.
March 10th at 1:30 via Zoom. That's Fernando Alfonso. Next case with Mr. Todd is Salah Al-Ghamdi, 20 TR 26411. The offer is a withhold, 100 plus costs.
Yes, sir, we'll accept that.
All right. Next case is Diana Antoine, which is an adjudication. Would you prefer a hearing?
Yes, sir, we'll set this for a hearing.
Let's see, I'm sorry. You actually have two Antoines. One is Diana and one is Rossler. For some reason, Diana Antoine is appearing on my paper docket, not the computer. Give me a second to pull this case up, please, Mr. Todd.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm guessing that she was removed from the docket for some reason. Madam Clerk, do you show a Diana Antoine?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Why? Okay. Yeah, it looks like she's still on the docket. Okay, so to be clear, this is Diana Antoine, 20 TR 26892. This offer is an adjudication, and I believe Mr. Todd said hearing, please.
Yes.
All right, so that'll be March the 10th. March
Correct.
the 10th at 1:30. And your next case is Rossler Antoine, 20 TR 25959. The offer for Rossler Antoine is a withhold, 250 plus costs, and a 4-hour course.
Yes, sir, we'll accept that.
All right. Sorry, Madam Clerk, I know I confused the two Antoine cases. We're clear on that, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Next case is William Asus, 20 TR 27758. Withhold 100 and costs.
Let me take a look here, Your Honor.
Sure.
Your Honor, this one will be a hearing.
All right, and Madam Clerk, I'll keep setting them for March 10th at 1:30 until you tell me that docket is full, okay?
Okay, Your Honor.
So William Asus is set on that docket for a hearing March 10th at 1:30. Saul Baez Ventura, case number 20 TR 27227, is an adjudication based on speed and a recent prior. Mr. Todd, would you prefer a hearing?
Yes, sir.
All right, Baez Ventura is set for hearing March 10th at 1:30. Next is Jason Balgobin, case number 20 TR 26309. The offer is a withhold 100 and costs.
Thank you.
All right. Next is Matthew Battaglia, 20 TR 25884. Matthew Battaglia, withhold 200 and costs.
Thank you.
Okay. Giselle Bellaciano, 20 TR 28911. Bellaciano, withhold 150 plus costs.
Thank you.
Next up is Adrian Betancourt, 20 TR 27795. Withhold 200 and costs.
Thank you, sir.
Next is Crystal Burns, 20 TR 28479. Crystal Burns, withhold 200 and costs.
Thank you.
Next is Crystal Canellis, 20 TR 26432, and the offer is a withhold 200 and costs.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Madam Clerk, you good?
I'm good, thank you.
All right. Marcelo Castillo Soto, 20 TR 26939, withhold 200 costs in a 4-hour course.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Furman Castillo, 20 TR 26256. This is Furman Castillo, and that is an adjudication. Would you prefer a hearing?
Negative. We'll accept the adjudication.
All right, let me give you the offer in its entirety in that case. To make sure you still want to accept it, it is an adjudication of guilt, a $200 fine plus costs, and a 4-hour course.
Take a look here.
Sure.
Now we'll set a hearing. Thank you for repeating that.
Sure. So, Madam Clerk, Furman Castillo is a hearing March 10th at 1:30.
Give me 1 moment, Your Honor. I'm just taking some notes here.
Sure. And my goal is not to go quickly here, so if either one of you need me to slow down, please let me know.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
All right. Next, you've got 2 cases with George's Cave. The first one is 20 TR 29544. That's a DWLSR, and the offer there is a withhold 100 and costs. Would you like both offers before you make your decision?
The DWLSR IV filed as exhibit. It's a license. It is valid. Would you consider dismissal on that
I'm
one?
sorry, I missed that. Let me take a look. This is out of New York, driving privilege, full driving privilege. Yes. Okay, thank you for pointing that out. So, Madam Clerk, 20 TR 29544 is dismissed,
Okay.
leaving us with 1 case for Mr. Cave, and that's 20 TR 29552, and that's a speeding ticket with an adjudication based on the speed. Would you prefer a hearing?
Yes, sir. We'll set that one.
All right, so that one is set for a hearing March 10th at 1:30. Next, you have two cases with Edwin Cocos Mejia, the 20 TR 26117. That's the first one. 26117 is a speed, and the offer is a withhold 200 and costs. And I'll make you both offers, Mr. Todd, and then you can decide. Okay.
All right.
So the offer on the speed again is a withhold 200 and costs. The second case is 20 TR 26125. That's a DL restriction. It's a withhold 100 in costs.
I will accept both.
All right. Next is Dominic Colon, 20 TR 28454. And that's an adjudication or a hearing.
We'll schedule this for a hearing.
All right, this case is set for the hearing docket March 10th at 1:30. Next, you have two cases with Jorge Colonna, both speeding tickets. The first one is 20 TR 28913. And the offer in that case is a withhold 200 and costs. And again, that's 20 TR 28913. That's the first in time speeding ticket. The second one was 20 minutes later and does include an adjudication. So you can accept one, or we can set them both for trial. It's up to you.
Your Honor, we would accept both.
Well, okay, let me give you both offers in their entirety then. So 20 TR 28913, that's the first in time speeding ticket, withhold 200 and costs. You accept that?
Yes.
All right. The second ticket is 20 TR 28944. This was actually, per the ticket, 2 miles per hour faster than the first ticket and 20 minutes later. The offer there is an adjudication, $200 fine plus costs, and a 4-hour course. You want to accept that or set it?
We'll accept that.
All right, so ordered. Next case with Mr. Todd is Mikel de la Cruz Doval, 20 TR 25751. That does include an adjudication. Would you like the entire offer or set it for hearing?
Let's set this for hearing.
All right, De La Cruz Doval, set for hearing March 10th at 1:30. And your next case is Mark Daunt, 20 TR 25743. Also includes an adjudication. I can set it or give you the entire offer.
Let's hear the entire offer, Your Honor, please.
It's an adjudication, 200 plus costs, and a 4-hour course.
Your Honor, let's set this for a hearing.
All right. Mark Daunt is set for March 10th at 1:30. Your next case is Paul Dixon, 20 TR 29313. The offer for Mr. Dixon is a withhold, 250 plus costs, and a 4-hour course.
Yes, sir, we'll accept that.
All right. Next is Lindsay Donato, 20 TR 27670. The offer is a withhold, 100 and costs.
Give me 1 second here. I'm just
Sure.
consulting my notes here.
Okay.
We'll set this for a hearing.
All right, Madam Clerk, this again is 20 TR 27670. Lindsay Donato, March 10th at 1:30.
Okay.
Okay, that was Donato. Next up is Jessica Duello, 20 TR 26085. This is a DWLSR that's been fixed, and this case is dismissed.
Thank you.
Pamela Durant, 20 TR 27241. The offer is a withhold 200 and costs.
Thank you.
Ekaterina Fisenko, 20 TR 27273. Withhold 200 and costs.
Thank you.
Next up is Makazarat Francois, 20 TR 23452. Withhold 250 and costs.
Thank you.
Ernesto Fuentes Cruz, 20 TR 26707. Withhold 100 and costs.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, you good?
I'm good, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Eduardo Garcia, 20 TR 28850. Eduardo Garcia, withhold 100 plus costs and a 4-hour course.
Yes, sir. We'll accept that.
And next is Zoraida Garcia. Zoraida Garcia, 20 TR 24833, is a withhold 150 and costs.
Your Honor, would you consider a judicial warning in this matter? I know you've already taken your time to look at it, but I just wanted to ask. So nothing on the record since 1991.
Let me look again here. I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll do a withhold and costs.
Thank you. We'll accept that.
That eliminates the fine, Madam Clerk. So again, there's no fine. It's just a withhold and costs on Zoraida Garcia.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, next is Nicole Gerardo, 20 TR 28710, withhold 200 and costs.
This is for Nicole Gerardo.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'm showing there's 2 citations.
I'm only showing
Let me
one
see.
for
No,
speed.
I'm sorry. I'm a dummy. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Nicole Gerardo, that was a withhold, Your Honor.
You withhold 200 and costs.
Yes, sir. We'll accept that.
Okay. You only have 88 cases on the docket today, Mr. Todd.
Yes, sir. This is my third court appearance this morning.
Well, so you've got to give yourself a break. That's okay.
I'm doing all right.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
All right, next up, you do have 2 cases with Oliver Gonzalez. And the first one is 20 TR 22580, Oliver Gonzalez. That's a speeding ticket. And the offer here is a withhold 200 plus costs and a 4-hour course. And the next one is a DL not carried. Did he have the DL? Does he have a valid license? He just didn't have it with him?
Let me double check my notes and see what I have here. I went over these about a week ago, and sometimes in my haste, I can't read my own handwriting.
That's all right. I'm going over it again. I'm going to check to see if he's got a valid license.
Your Honor, the notes I have is he has a valid license. He just didn't have it with him at the time of the stop.
Okay. Yes, he does have a valid license. Okay, so let's go back to the 2 cases. The DL not carried is 20 TR 22581. That is a judicial warning. Make sure he knows to carry his valid driver's license with him. Judicial warning.
Thank you, folks.
All right. and the other case is the speed, 22,580. That's a withhold 200 costs and a 4-hour course.
Yes, sir. We'll accept.
Okay. All right, next is Cassandra Gordon, 20 TR 25027, withhold 250 costs, 4-hour course.
Yes, sir. We'll accept that.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, may I have that again?
Sure.
Hold on a second.
This is Cassandra.
You're kind of frozen here. Hold on 1 second. Okay, Cassandra Gordon. Okay, I'm back.
All right, it's a withhold 250 costs and a 4-hour course.
Got it. Thank you, Your Honor.
And he accepted. Okay. And next is Joseph Gurecki, 20 TR 26028. That's a withhold $50 and costs.
Thank you.
Do you say 50 or 60?
50 on Gurecki. And next is Milka Gutierrez, 20 TR 29298, withhold 200 and costs.
Your Honor, we would accept that.
Okay. Next is Mayumi Harada Rodriguez, 20 TR 26238, withhold 100 and costs.
Thank you.
John Enriquez, 20 TR 29625. This one, Madam Clerk, is a withhold $60 fine and cost. 60.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
We'll accept that.
Thank you. Next up is Carel Hernandez Claro, 20 TR 28228. Withhold 150 costs, 4-hour course.
We'll accept. Thank you.
Oliver Hilaire, 20 TR 27302, is a withhold 100 and costs.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, you good?
I'm good. Thank you.
Right. Lena Jaramillo, 20 TR 26300, withhold 200 and costs.
Thank you.
All right. Next is Stephen Jaramillo, 20 TR 26082. That's a withhold 150 and costs.
Thank you.
Connor Kelly Bigelow, 20 TR 25872. Withhold 250 costs and a 4-hour course.
Thank you.
Dibus Labrada Perez, 20 TR 28579. Withhold 150 and costs.
Thank you.
Anthony Laley, 20 TR 26036. Withhold 150 costs and a 4-hour course.
Your Honor, let me ask. I haven't looked this morning. I filed a motion to dismiss 6 days ago regarding a vagueness argument. Had that been denied?
No, well, it's, and I'm sorry, when I reviewed this, it was before you filed that motion. I hadn't seen it, but I'm looking at it now. I would deny that as premature because the officer, as you know, has the opportunity to amend a citation up until the time of the hearing. So I would deny it without prejudice. We can set it for hearing if you'd like and see what happens then.
Your Honor, in the alternative, I'll accept this court's offer in pretrial.
All right, and that offer again for Laley is a withhold 150 costs and a 4-hour course. That's the offer you want to accept?
Yes.
Okay. Next is Raydel Lopez Mejias, 20 TR 29480. This is an adjudication. I can give you the whole offer or set it for trial.
Your Honor, I'll set this for a hearing.
All right, March 10th at 1:30 for Lopez Mejias. We've got two cases with Alexander Lorenzo, 20 TR 26464, driving on a suspended license. I know that Mr. Todd has indicated it's been fixed, and that case is dismissed, Madam Clerk. 20 TR 26464 is dismissed.
Thank you.
The second ticket is 20 TR 26470. That's the speeding infraction. The offer is a withhold 200 and costs.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Next up is Daniela Mantilla, 20 TR 25484. Withhold 200 and costs.
Thank you.
Next up is Rudy Marenco Puerto, 20 TR 26394. That's a withhold $60 fine, 60 plus costs.
Thank you.
All right. Yacel Marty Gutierrez, 20 TR 29486. That's high speed, so I've increased the fine and given you a course. It's a withhold 300 plus costs in a 4-hour course.
Thank you. We'll accept that.
Okay. And you have two cases with Pablo Martin Lopez. The first one is 20 TR 25626. That's a DL not carried. And it is a valid driver's license. That case is a judicial warning, 20 TR 25626. And the second case for Pablo Martin Lopez is 20 TR 25641. That's a withhold 200 and costs.
Thank you.
Okay. Answer Martin, 20 TR 25912. Withhold 100 and costs.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, that was withhold 100?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And that's Answer Martin. All right, next case is Iolia. Sorry, Madam Clerk, what was that?
I'm sorry, my computer froze again. You said withhold is 100.
For Answer Martin, correct.
Yes, thank you.
Are you still frozen? Natalia, I just lost audio.
Yeah, I'm here. It's working now. Thank you.
Okay. Next case is Iolia Martinez, 20 TR 27780, and the offer is a withhold 200 and costs.
Thank you.
Claudia Martinez, 20 TR 29887. Claudia Martinez, withhold 300 plus costs in a 4-hour course.
Perfect. Thank you.
Javier Matilla, 20 TR 25989, does include an adjudication. I can give you that entire offer or set it.
We'll set this one.
Javier Matilla, 20 TR 25989 is set for hearing March 10th at 1:30. Your next case is Paul McAnuff, 20 TR 26863. This is a withhold 350 plus costs in a 4-hour course.
Thank you.
Daniel Menendez, 20 TR 25638, withhold 200 and costs.
Thank you.
Freddie Minnie, 20 TR 29635, Freddie Minnie, withhold 200 and costs.
Thank you.
Edgar Navarro, 20 TR 27828, withhold 100 and costs.
Thank you.
Francisca Nieta, 20 TR 27231. Francisca Nieta, withhold 200 in costs.
Thank you, sir.
Andres Ortiz Perez, 20 TR 25952. Ortiz Perez, withhold 200 in costs.
Thank you.
Axel Pace, 20 TR 29454. Withhold 250 plus costs in a 4-hour course.
Thank you.
Okay. Luis Pellegrin Barrios, 20 TR 26814. Pellegrin Barrios is a withhold 150 plus costs in a 4-hour course.
Thank you.
Udelki Pena, 20 TR 29455, includes an adjudication, or we can set it for hearing.
Your Honor, we'll set this.
All right, Pena, 20 TR 29455 is set for hearing March 10th at 1:30. Next is Guilherme Perolongue Heisey, 20 TR 29603. Madam Clerk, I don't think I did very well on the name there, but do you see this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And the offer is a withhold 300 plus costs in a 4-hour course.
Thank you.
Gabriel Quintero Zulaga, 20 TR 29511. Withhold 300 plus costs in a 4-hour course.
Thank you.
May I have that again? I'm sorry.
Yes, that's all right. It's Quintero Zulaga, and it's a withhold 300 plus costs in a 4-hour course.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Theodoro Raymond, 20 TR 26219. Withhold 200 in costs.
Thank you.
Marangeli Rivera de Villa, 20 TR 26380.